Yes, once again, hello, how you doing? I believe that you're fine. And now after the first video, we come for the second video and we want to continue discussing about what I would call uh, false positives and the flawed logic of AI detectors. I was here, I discussed some of the issues. I introduced this lesson concerning AI detectors, and I said that we've got a challenge. And the challenge is because we live in an era where artificial intelligence is shaping and reshaping education, and at this time, a new kind of threat in education has emerged. And from the previous video, we can understand that this threat does not come from AI itself. Actually, it comes from the tools that are designed to detect AI. And I told you something that I've been trying to do a research or trying to seek an understanding of some of the AI detecting apps, some of the AI detecting tools, and how they operate. And I can see that over time, I have submitted over 50 pieces of writing to various AI detectors, and this was with the aim to unravel the logic behind the so-called anti-AI and anti-plagiarism systems. This is a logic which every one of us needs to understand. It is a logic that we cannot ignore how it works because it will help us as educators. By the for your information, I'm a teacher, only that the kind of learners I'm dealing with, they are not so much with use of AI because I'm currently teaching at the basic level, that is the junior school. Not really basic, but we can call it basic. And the reason as to why I did this is that I heard about this threat which has held in the education sector, that if you use AI as a student, you are risking missing your marks or even being gifted with a dancing 0 mark in your papers. Reason behind is because people have tried to give explanations. People have tried to explain what could be the reason for this. And one of the things which I've seen is that most of the educators, even in higher institutions, they have felt that AI is a threat. And in an attempt to get rid of this threat, they have created another greater threat, which actually has become a threat more than the AI itself. So people have tried to explain some things which I don't know how true they are, but because of this, I had to take a task to analyze. Because I've heard people explaining how the work of students is passed through these detectors and how your work, if it is AI generated, will be detected. Anyway, I was not satisfied with these explanations and I sought to find it for myself. I looked at everything in the media, but it was not good enough. So I chose to venture into this. I want to explain that out of the more than 50 works I've used, some of them were deeply personal work. I've written my own reflections, not with the help of AI, just sitting with a blank page, no phones, no devices, nothing to help me, and I write. And the other works which I used were excerpts from published works of people who are renowned, polished authors, which I believe were untouched by machine learning, because most of these works I've used are works which date long, long before AI or artificial intelligence was discovered. However, just like I told you concerning the research I did before I started this video, concerning the last test I did, that is, the results have been alarming. In the previous, I told you that I took a certain work, uploaded it to our AI detecting website, and it was flagged 81% plagiarized. But that is not shocking enough. In my previous work, there is a detector which claimed that work which was original and personal to me was 72% AI generated, that it had signs of AI generations, at least 72%. And another one is a word passage which was like 200 words, which was crafted by AI itself. Only that I instructed the way it is to be generated. And all of a sudden, it was shocking. This work, it was flagged 80% human written, 20% AI science. Think about it. Your own written work is 72% AI generated, while the work which was generated by AI following my own instructions was 20% AI generated. Those are the signs. And actually, we can say that there is an irony which is staggering. But there is something worse than the irony. That is the implications of this. Yes, enough of the narratives. Let us look at the big question. And the question is, are students safe if their work is passed through AI, plagiarism checkers, and AI detectors? I want to repeat this question. If you're an educator, if you're a student, or a person who is involved, please get this well. Are students safe if their work is passed through AI plagiarism checkers and AI detectors? The short answer is no. That is what I've learned so far. And that is what I hope that everyone would learn, that students cannot be safe if their work is passed through AI detectors. I shared to you in the first video that these tools were developed after AI seemed to be a threat to authentic and credible work in in education. So when these tools came, back then I think I was in that year, just recently, these tools were marketed, and even today they are marketed as guardians of academic integrity. Yes, this is why I've called them false positives, while the results and the consequences are real. The implications are to the worst. However, these tools are riddled with false positives. They are not anymore guardians of academic integrity. Why? I want to talk about AI tools and how they work so that you may understand me. Number one is that I want you to understand that AI tools depend on statistical patterns. AI tools do not think. Artificial intelligence is not as active in thinking as it is the human intelligence. AI will not think. What it will do, it will use the statistics and it has and the patterns it detects from those statistics. And from this, it will generate, it will detect, it will give verdicts. They do not depend on human understanding. The second problem with AI tools is that most of the AI tools, not most, but actually all, cannot detect emotion, cannot detect intention, and cannot detect the context of writing. Two great problems. Number one, they depend on statistical patterns and not human understanding. And number two is that they cannot detect emotion, they cannot detect intention, and they cannot detect the context. However, despite this, very factual, we've seen the verdicts of AI detectors being used to accuse students of lack of integrity, to accuse students of dishonesty. They have been used to penalize even original thinkers. They have been used even to undermine the very creativity that we claim to nurture. If we are creative, then that is not human. The creativity supersedes or is beyond what the far human beings can be. So, how safe? How safe? This is why I said earlier that the simple answer as to whether students are safe when their work is passed through AI plagiarism checkers and AI detectors is that it's no, they are not safe. So, I want us to imagine, for example, a student is pouring out their heart into a reflective essay, maybe into a research paper. They have done everything, they have done their best, only later to be told by an algorithm that their voice sounds too polished to be human. That is what happens. Anything which is too polished, it will ever be AI generated, whether original, whether created by human or not. I want to challenge you to take your time and go through this to check if truly what I'm talking about is real or not. I want you to take your time. I want you to pick as many works as possible and to upload them into various AI detectors. Be keen to watch the results. Be keen to understand what is happening. Now, after you do that, I want you to imagine a teacher doubting a learner's efforts because AI detector flagged their work as machine-like, as generated by AI. Maybe someone will think that these are hypothetical scenarios. These are not hypothetical. These are things which are happening within the learning institutions, and especially the higher learning institutions. And students have got no power. They don't know what to do. And for that reason, many people are in danger of failing. Please, 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 let us not use this. Let us run away from AI detectors. Human thinking can be the best in understanding whether works are machine-like or human-like, not machines. So there is, after the two problems, there is the science behind AI detection. What does or what do AI detectors analyze when you upload any work? You'll find that these things are things which can be learned by any human. Number one, they analyze the sentence structure and feel that a person who is so proficient in language should not arrange their words in a syntax so perfect, even as to the one of AI. Credit to AI because the syntax and sentence structures of AI are the best. But where did they come from? AI is not the origin of language. Artificial intelligence is not the origin of language. Human intelligence is. Language originated from people. It is people who determine this language how it should be. And what happened to this detector? It was instructed in certain patterns and algorithms which it will use all times to give verdicts. Number two, word frequency. The way we use words and how repeated words can be would probably make a person or make the machine say that this is AI detected. Personally, I've got some words which I love using. These are reality. Let's talk about it. Do you know people who you've labeled them by some words because they use those words oftenly, frequently, and that word frequency is being penalized. People are being punished. While we, the same people, have understood that every individual have their own word frequency. AI believes that there are words we should not use frequently. AI has it that there are patterns we should not use in language, as if the language is generated or originated or is AI invented. And the other thing is something we call predictability. While at one point we credit and we value and we reward and we prize suspense in writing. On the other hand, non-fiction materials will all times be rewarded if there is predictability. Science and all that, our research papers and all that are best rewarded if there be predictability in what we write. However, despite that, the AI detectors use these three to, and maybe other algorithms which will be set in the process of developing the systems. Human beings, especially when they are guided by mastery, when they are guided by emotion, when they are guided by clarity, can easily mimic these patterns. Yeah, human writing can mimic these patterns very well, and they will be perfect. They will not just be AI detected. There are many people who can sit and start writing, and at the end, their work will look even better than what is AI generated. Because sentence structure is something which can be learned. Predictability is something which can be learned. Word frequency is something which can be learned. Use of pompous grammar is something which can be learned. Use of simple grammar is something which can be learned. All the patterns of writing is something which can be learned. Think about a well-trained student. Think about a person who is a poetic educator like I am. Or think about a seasoned, a veteran author who writes their work without use of AI detectors. Do you know these people can unknowingly trigger these systems? And you know that is what happens. Because we can learn this, when we learn it, we can trigger these systems and we can write within what is defined as what? Uh, yeah, within what is defined as AI generated. I want to share three more problems with AI detectors. And these three are in one. In the first, I said that AI detectors cannot understand emotion, cannot understand intention, and cannot understand context. And I said that AI detectors use statistical patterns. And the third problem is that they lack transparency. Why? Most of the algorithms of AI detectors are proprietary. Even the benchmarks of these detectors are unclear. And the last, which I'm a witness and a victim, is that their results vary widely across different platforms or detectors. What am I trying to say? If I summarize the whole of this in one sentence, is that AI detectors are not scientific tools. They are just statistical guesses. Any guess can be right or wrong. Guesses can either be right or wrong. Mark that. They use statistical patterns, and after using statistical patterns, they guess what it can be, even without evidence that it is so. Because there is no evidence enough to prove that any work is AI generated. Which evidence? There is no evidence enough. to prove that any work is AI generated. And this one has brought about a problem of a great emotional toll on learners. Students are being falsely accused of using AI, and this can be devastating. Number one, trust is eroded. Number two, effort is discouraged. And number three, it sends a certain message to learners that sounding smart is suspicious. Then, who will want to sound smart? Who will want to reach perfection if perfection is doubted? And all I can say is that considering the values we teach, considering that many educational systems are mastery based, considering that many education systems prize and celebrate growth, then this is a betrayal of the very values we teach. Yes, a betrayal. Because we believe that students should be improving, should be growing. And when they grow to reach higher levels, we discourage them. They will not anymore trust us. They will not anymore see the need of putting efforts. And they won't want to be smart. Because if they sound smart, it's suspicious. So, AI detecting tools. Are you going to continue using these tools in detecting works of students? Are you going to still use these tools to penalize students? Are you going to use these tools to accuse of dishonesty? Are you going to use these tools to give learners dancing 0 marks? I must say that educators at all levels must lead with the discernment and not dependence on tools which use artificial intelligence. While you may use artificial intelligence detectors to make your work easier, they should not be the final judge. You should not use their verdicts. Let them just be as lens to see through this work. But then after that, we need to ensure that we confirm if this work is AI generated. By the way, if you could test whether anything is AI generated, the poorest students would ever get the best mark because their work may not trigger the systems. Their work may not be flagged as AI generated. If you write well, if you are smart, just know that you are in trouble with AI. All times in trouble with AI. So just continue writing smart. Let not AI trouble you. I want to call upon all educators that they teach students to document the process they follow in writing their work. Let's talk about the draft, the outlines, the reflections, and all that These at least can prove the authenticity better than any algorithms. And most of the time, students, if the system allows, I usually advise that in case you are doing any work and you've reached the final steps, please ensure to attach your drafts. Please ensure to attach your outlines. Please ensure to attach all those manuscripts you use as the first and drafting manuscript, if this the system allows. But again, I call upon the educators and the schools, the learning institutions, to make this possible. And if possible, you can have face-to-face talks with the learners, with the students, and prove their intelligence, and prove their integrity, and prove their honesty, rather than judging them in their absence using machines or tools which do not know them, which do not understand their intentions and their emotions. Then the last call is to all AI detectors developers. Please, even if you have to work for business, I would appeal to you to develop your systems to better standards and algorithms which narrow down to specific points and which are not general to detect and flag every work as AI generated. I believe that AI can be a partner of learning, but many AI detectors and plagiarism checkers in their current form are not protectors of truth. I believe that many of them are silencers of originality. And I call upon everyone that we be vigilant, that we be fair, that we be human, that we do the right thing, that we seek to encourage and to motivate our learners to be smart and to grow, to put more effort, and to maintain our trust with them. Thank you.